I had this realization that I wanted to grow old in the place that I had such a good time growing up. And so I broke away from New York City and from my job at BBC World News doing business and economics. And now, sort of trained as an economic trend spotter over the years by the BBC, I think we're actually at a ripe time to make government a place where talented people hunger to work. The big vision is about young people and all people being able to afford to be in Santa Fe. This can't just be a community for wealthy people where service sector workers commute in. We also just need to make sure our city's finances make sense. It's a big deal these days. A lot of people are concerned about it. My background is as a financial reporter. I used to have to explain Federal Reserve monetary policy in 30 seconds or less. We can make city finances make sense, understand what the sources and uses of funds are, and the biggest amount of money is always in the people. And so truly, the key thing about having an excellent government is unlocking the power of the workforce. And during my time on the school board, I've really seen how much more a mayor can do to support our school systems, because our schools are becoming catch-alls for a lot of our social problems. And, a teacher has to deal with hunger and a kid not being properly clothed and any trauma or behavioral issues that come from what's gone on at home. And the city can really do a better job of convening and helping our service providers to coordinate behavioral health services. And critically, we can help with the central issue in our economy, which is housing. When in doubt, I really look for solutions that knit our economy and our community together. And one of them is to grow our own teachers. So as a quick outline of a program there, juniors and seniors in high school, putting them on a path to getting a teaching credential. Also in our economy, we've got to invest in broadband. Some of the magic of government, I can tell you, having been in economic development and worked in government, is knowing where government should be and the private sector should be. And government is about the infrastructure. We've seen wages go down and housing prices go up, and we really need to work on that key indicator, because the gap between what people make and the cost of housing is way too high. That we are saying how we're spending bond money, where it's going, and not just bond money, all of the money, the operational money as well, and open up our communication and our accepting input and weighing input from people who don't have the ability to be in the room for hours and hours during a city council meeting is really important, so that transparency has to be there. We couldn't figure out how to get a raise, which, there was no legal problem with it. It just got wrapped up in the bureaucracy for the engineer who rebuilt the first phase of Cerrillos Road as we were going into the second phase of Cerrillos Road. For what would have been, $10,000, $15,000 of an annual raise, we let her go and hired somebody for a six-figure contract in order to do the work that she would have done. There's way too much of this. So the first order of business in terms of looking at our financing is really trying to be smart and more intentional and stop the kind of nonsensical behaviors that happen way too often that cost a lot of money. We can be smarter about our finances and then even finance projects through the New Mexico Finance Authority, our bonding capacity, that will grow our economy and strengthen it and bring in more money in the long run.